selected a quarterback in the 4th round, and I must say that I had several preferences for this phase of the draft. It would be quite reasonable to think about a running back or even a solid defensive player to help contain the opposing offense. Depth is key in several positions, and I really wish I had a 4th-round pick that hadn't been affected by Jonathan Mingo. I hope Mingo turns into a good athlete, but this pick left me a bit unsatisfied. There are always supporters contributing resources similar to donations, allowing them to send their support outside of live broadcasts. You just need to click the thank you icon and send whatever you wish, but I ask that we avoid any form of commitment, as this is the only request I have. It's a simple expectation that doesn't always materialize, but it's the reality. I appreciate all the support received, and every contribution is recognized on the show. One supporter sent $5, which represent a t-shirt I really like. I believe I have one similar. Someone asked if I could discuss the possibility of the team selecting a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. That would definitely be an unexpected move, especially considering Dak's injury history. However, I think it's highly unlikely that this consideration would happen in the 1st round. Even if a player like Shatter is available, I don't envision this happening. The only way it would happen in the 2nd round would be if Shatter were to fall that much, but if he reaches the 44th pick, that raises some alarm bells for me. I have him graded as a 2nd-round pick, and typically these athletes are chosen in the 1st round due to the demand for quarterbacks. Despite my opinions on this, it's hard to believe the team would go for a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, especially after recently investing in Dak. If only 2 years remained on Dak's contract, maybe the situation would be different, but it's uncertain which direction the team will take regarding the quarterback position. Normally, players in this position are selected in the 1st round because of their potential impact. However, considering Dak's recent contract extension, it's hard to imagine the team picking a quarterback in the 1st or 2nd round. If Dak only had 2 years remaining on his contract, the situation would likely be different. With the current class showing a talent shortage, I would rank Cam Ward in the early 2nd round and Shatter Sanders around the middle of that same round. I doubt I'll find another quarterback among my top 100. I don't expect much from Jackson Dart. I see Jalen Milroe as a prospect in the early 4th round, while Dart should fall in the final 3rd or early 4th, only appearing in that top 100 range. Overall, I don't consider this a strong quarterback class. When it comes to picking someone later, there are several possibilities like McCord and Gabriel, who could be selected in the 5th or 6th rounds. This raises the question of when the team might opt for a quarterback. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. As for my view on athletes like Jalen Hurts, I've always believed he is a reliable quarterback. However, both he and Dak often face unfair criticism, not just from their team's fans, but also from NFL media coverage. This bias can sometimes be linked to their draft positions, where certain players receive more leniency depending on where they were picked. One example to consider is Daniel Jones. Even after securing a playoff win, he was never recognized as an exceptional player. The definition of elite varies greatly, but for me, quarterbacks who stand out at that level include Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and Burrow. I don't feel compelled to rank many other players in that category, which leave a large number of quarterbacks just outside the top 10. Ultimately, there's a broad discussion about why some restructurings are only made to facilitate contract rolling. I'm inclined to include several other quarterbacks in this group, resulting in a significant number of players at the top 10 border. Someone, I suppose, has to occupy the 5th spot, but that doesn't really make a true top 5. This is where I place these players lower. Now, why restructure just to prolong the money? What are the benefits? Well, the advantage is that you simplify the rolling of capital, I believe. Honestly, I like to see teams do this more often. They don't need drastic restructurings, but there's valid reasoning that suggests that if you're going to pay a player a base salary for a year on a multi-year contract, you should restructure annually. Because in the worst case, you don't spend the money, you just extend it. That's what teams like the Eagles and the Browns have been doing. I believe I've seen a player receive a 1-year, $3 million contract with 4 void years just to extend capital. So why not? It seems like a valid strategy. Teams don't always adopt this tactic, which is frustrating as they make restructurings and then don't utilize the capital. Honestly, I feel like they were totally willing to invest an extra $6 million in a player, but he ended up receiving more than expected, so they decided not to go down that route. Regarding Micah, if the team didn't make an offer to him before the draft, is it plausible to think that another team could try to trade for him? Keep in mind that we're conducting a vote on Micah's decision, so you can check the website to see the options. There's a prize split for whoever gets the signing or trade date correct. Everyone involved is clear on how the money will be handled. Perhaps there hasn't been a formal offer to his agent, but that also ties into how things work with college coaches. A college coach never accepts an offer until it's actually formalized. No one turns down offers, even though they are frequently rejected because they know how things tend to unfold. So, there was never a formal submission of an offer. It's a type of situation. Traditionally, a college coach only signs a contract after receiving a formal offer, which is quite curious. Offers are generally not rejected, although they may be disregarded, as everyone is already aware of the expectations involved. However, the official offer often only comes after a prior understanding, which is exactly the current scenario. Everyone involved is aware of the initial costs, and considering the Cowboys' history, this process should stretch into July or August, following their usual practice. Often, they try to avoid the agent, which causes some discontent, and in some situations, when the agent has multiple clients, several exits can happen in one preseason, as we've seen recently. However, I believe everyone wants him to stay, even the agent, and despite how long this might take, the outcome is likely to be positive. Now, addressing the possibility of the Cowboys making a trade involving Micah Parsons, the topic is quite delicate. While this response is a bit lengthy, I hope it provides a satisfactory explanation. I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. When discussing the Cowboys preseason, the draft might improve their situation, but the formation of the coaching staff wasn't ideal. The choice of coaches was generally good, and the moves in free agency showed progress compared to previous years, though it wasn't extraordinary. From the Cowboys' perspective, this phase could be rated around A, B, or B+, but it still seems average compared to the league, which is disappointing for those aiming to be competitive. Today, we also highlight the impressive platform that enables true sports action. This platform attracted a large number of participants and distributed considerable prizes, making daily fantasy sports accessible to many. Players have the opportunity to pick one or two athletes to win up to 1,000 times what they invested. This opportunity is available in various states, including California, Georgia, and notably Texas, where the sports culture is well known. Additionally, there are several offers for college basketball, ongoing baseball, and, of course, American football. As for European football, I also admire those involved in it. In more than 30 states, including California, Georgia, and Texas, there are several options related to betting on college basketball, while baseball games are ongoing in American football, the traditional one, of course. While I have a greater interest in European football, I value those who follow American football. Regarding American football, the alternatives are available. I'm raising concerns about 3 players and their specific statistics. One might have recorded fewer passing yards and may not be as effective on offense this year. 2 other players are likely to see a decrease in their target share, resulting in fewer receiving yards. Additionally, I'm unsure if the team plans to involve their quarterback in rushing plays as much, which could indicate a reduction in rushing yards. The situation is complex. Speaking about draft analysis, what was the prospect you thought was a sure thing, but ended up being a disappointment? That's a great question. I had a more cautious evaluation of a player due to factors like stats, combine times, and tests. I had a player ranked 7th on my list when analyzing the 2017 draft class. I thought another player would be amazing. Before the combine, he was my number 1 cornerback. However, his speed was so disappointing that I had to drastically reevaluate his position. In that same class, I really supported a tight end, believing he would be outstanding, but positional value issues made that prediction frustrating. I also really liked his safety that year, and I believe I would have been right if he had managed to stay healthy. My records are publicly available over the years, so you can go back and check. There are many evaluations that didn't materialize. Debates about positional value can be quite heated. That was definitely a blow. I also had a strong connection to a player that season and feel I would have been right if he had managed to stay healthy. However, all of my previous year's records are available, so you can review them. There are several picks that didn't work out, and that's part of the process. Regarding a potential trade for one of the team's receivers, I don't think they would get rid of one of them. However, there's a possibility of inquiring about another one, especially with their contract ending. They have another player who plays a similar role and provides the speed the team needs right now. I'm not sure if the mentioned player is available, but he could be an excellent outside vertical threat that the team is missing. It would have been advantageous to trade for him rather than another player in the 4th or 5th round. That would have been an interesting move. Now, think of a player from any team that you want to trade for and share your ideas in the comments. Changing the subject, I'm curious about your opinions on that player. I'd love to see more of his performance. Do you think he could act as a running back 2 or 3? The challenge with the 3rd spot is that those players typically need to contribute on special teams, and without that collaboration, it becomes difficult to make it work. I believe he has the potential to be a 2, but because of his size, he really needs to be significantly more talented than the other players on the field to make up for his stature. With the investments made in other positions, he ends up as the one who stands out the least. If you're looking for more content related to the team, you're in the right place. Now, if a particular player fell to the 9th or 10th pick, would you consider trading up? I would definitely evaluate that possibility unless another key player had already been signed. In that case, I'd feel it would be essential to make that move. It's somewhat ironic. In fact, it's quite painful to think about. If that player fell to the 10th pick, I could have offered a 4th-round pick to secure that selection and move up. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Imagine a world where the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most iconic teams in NFL history, pull off a trade so monumental it would rewrite the league's narrative. The rumors surrounding the potential arrival of Patrick Mahomes to the Cowboys roster have set the sports world abuzz. A move of this magnitude would not only shake up the Cowboys' offense, but could also change the trajectory of their entire franchise. Could the Super Bowl-winning quarterback, already a legend with the Kansas City Chiefs, be headed to Dallas? Fans and analysts alike can hardly contain their excitement as the whispers grow louder with each passing day. Mahomes, a generational talent, has already secured his place in NFL history. With an MVP trophy, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and a multi-million-dollar contract that makes him one of the highest-paid athletes ever, it seems unlikely that he would leave the Chiefs. But the allure of joining the Cowboys, America's team, combined with their undeniable potential for a championship run, could be too tempting to resist. Mahomes' ability to deliver under pressure and his extraordinary skills make him a perfect fit for the Cowboys' star-studded roster, which has recently shown signs of being on the brink of greatness. The Cowboys' quarterback situation has long been a subject of speculation. Dak Prescott, despite his impressive performances, has failed to bring the team to the promised land. Mahomes, on the other hand, has shown time and time again that he can elevate his team to new heights, leading them to back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. If Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office are serious about pursuing this potential blockbuster deal, it would undoubtedly be one of the most ambitious moves in franchise history. However, the path to acquiring Mahomes isn't simple. With the Chiefs' recent successes and Mahomes' deep ties to the organization, any trade would likely involve significant assets. The Cowboys would need to pull off an unprecedented package to tempt Kansas City into parting ways with their franchise quarterback. The mere thought of Mahomes in a Cowboys uniform is enough to send fans into a frenzy, but the reality of it happening remains a tantalizing mystery. As the rumor mill continues to churn, the question remains, is this just another offseason fantasy, or could Patrick Mahomes truly be on his way to the Dallas Cowboys? The impact of such a move would reverberate throughout the entire NFL, forever altering the landscape of professional football. Only time will tell if this dream scenario becomes a reality. But for now, all eyes are on Dallas, eagerly waiting for the next twist in this incredible story. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.